I feel excited to see my people, see my family. I just don't miss the prices, the transportation prices, the food prices. I went to the store and bought 7 things. It cost me $65. I couldn't believe that. It's crazy how much things cost. I would say I appreciate both cultures for what they bring. This is my country. I love my country. I always have. I'm in no hurry to move back, but I definitely miss being here when I'm here. I miss my family. I miss my friends. I appreciate being here in California just as much as I appreciate being in Manila. They both offer something that I enjoy in my lifestyle. Welcome back to Richie Abroad. I'm your host, Richie Rich. Obviously, I'm here in California, made it safely, back in the Bay Area from Manila. And, I get to see the people I love, and that's important to me. So I get to do this twice a year because this is home in the Bay Area. The nice California weather, the sky is blue. It's 68 degrees outside. And, it's beautiful California weather. But at the same time, coming home from the airport, the BART ride and the Uber ride was $32.
Oh, here we go again.
So you get a really quick wake-up call about the cost of living here, right? $32. The same ride in Manila would have been $4 and change. So that's, again, the difference. One of those differences between living here and living there. But you get what you pay for. You still gotta love the weather. I mean, you only have to look around to see, it's beautiful. California is always beautiful. There's no question about that. My question is, do you get what you pay for? Are you actually getting what you pay for in California? That's always my big question. So today I just wanted to talk about some of the feelings I have in coming back home. I'm here for 2 weeks and enjoying it so far. To come home and see my loved ones. And I look forward to it, and they do too.
Meanwhile,
I know a lot of you guys have asked me in the live stream or in the comments, hey, Richie Rich, where can I find a quality Filipina like Ching? Make sure you click on the link in the description box in the pinned comments to see the dating site that me and Ching both recommend. But all right, so let's get into the video. Going by trike. Here we go. So first of all, obviously for you guys that love Ching as much as I do, or not quite as much as I do, but almost, obviously she's not here. So we're separated only in spirit for a couple of weeks. But we talk probably, it seems like, every 15 minutes. But I already miss her, I really do. I wanted to go back and talk about why I moved from California to Manila in the first place. And the truth is, I didn't intend to move to Manila or the Philippines at all. I was taking a contract to go back to China and work at a university there. So I thought I would stop in Manila and take like a mini holiday, so to speak, and just relax. And before I started working, I thought it would be kind of cool. Then some things happened with my mother's health. And soon after, my mother passed away. And it really, really changed a lot of my perspective and got me thinking about what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, because life is short. And I decided I was going to stay. And I was lucky enough to be able to get a decent job online that more than supported me, that took care of everything I needed, and be able to start a YouTube channel. I knew I wanted to build a YouTube channel. I had no idea how to do it. Had no idea what I was going to do, or what I was going to talk about. But I met Ching and asked her what she thought about helping. And she said, hell yeah. And that was kind of how we got started. And 2 years later, we're still kind of doing it. People always ask me, what my expectations were in moving to Manila. And I didn't really have any expectations because I didn't expect to move or to even stay in Manila. But I knew I liked it. I knew I liked the outdoors. I love the mountains. I love the hiking, biking, walking. Just the whole thing I really liked. So I knew I was going to get to do a lot of outdoor stuff, and that was really appealing to me. In truth, I had been to Manila before, and it was cool. I mean, but I only stayed for like 10 days or something like that. So I didn't stay a long time. And, there's a big difference from traveling somewhere to living somewhere. There's a huge difference. So I didn't really have a whole bunch of expectations. I just knew it would be cool, and I knew I was going to enjoy it. If you're traveling, you're just there for 2 weeks, 10 days or 2 weeks or something like that. And you don't get the typhoon season, or you don't get the whole the year-long weather and all the changes that go with it. How has living in Manila changed me? How it changed me is what it made me realize is that a lot of the stuff we have in America, we don't need. It's all luxury stuff. It's all luxury stuff. That most of it is luxury stuff and we really don't need it. So that's I think that's probably the biggest thing for me is living in Manila and suddenly you're not driving all the time. So you don't have a car. A lot of the stuff you have at home here in California, you never needed it. They were all luxury things. So, I don't know. I seldom watch TV. I work a lot, but I enjoy my work. Me and Ching spend a lot of time together, going out and doing different things, making videos, hanging out with subscribers, doing different stuff with family. A lot of the stuff that I had, a lot of the stuff I didn't need it. You just come to realize a lot of stuff you have, you don't really need. It's just stuff that you had because you could. But I don't know. You can enjoy life with all the luxury stuff that we have in the US. And I'm not saying I'm not saying having luxury stuff is a bad thing. I'm just saying life, you'd be surprised how much you can enjoy life, even if you don't have those things. If you have good people around you, it's amazing how much you enjoy life without all those other things too. In my mind, that's one of the biggest takeaways I've got from living abroad and especially from living in Manila. The flip side of that is in my condos, my condo is a nice size for me, has 2 gyms, 3 pools. The condo is not exactly a big drop from luxury actually. But it works for me. And we're in Manila where the prices are a lot less than what they are here in California, that's for sure. Price of gas was $5.35 a gallon. What are they doing in California? Man, they tax the hell out of these people. You could never get me to come back to California, bro. Don't get me wrong, it's still beautiful. The neighborhoods are nice, at least here. Still a beautiful state. But as far as getting value for your money, I don't know. Okay, so I'll just post up for a minute and talk for a little bit and then get back to walking a little. Here, I'll just show you guys a quick little, the bay. And this is right outside of San Francisco Bay. If you've never been here, this is San Pablo Bay. And it's right out there. And this is where I grew up. Talking about the other things that I've really learned to appreciate. Living abroad has given me a big perspective on learning to be patient. At home, we get everything fast. Everything is fast. And, you get used to getting everything fast. Everything is right now or even yesterday. When you live abroad, you got to learn to be patient. You got to learn to be flexible. It just is what it is. If you ain't patient, you are not going to make it living in almost any other country because you're coming from one of the most modern countries in the world. Even though we don't have high-speed trains, I don't understand that. But you're coming from one of the most modern countries in the world, and you're going to a third world country. And you have to learn to be patient. Things are not going to work as easily or as smoothly as they did where you came from. I think everything I've mentioned here is going to come back to being patient, because the next thing I was going to mention is learning to understand their communication style. And it may not make sense to us. The fact that they won't say no, but they won't do it. Or the fact that you can't get unlimited soft drinks or unlimited this or that like you can at home. A lot of things don't make sense to us because we're used to doing things the way we do them. But that's the way they do things. Just getting used to their communication style, getting used to them pointing with their lips, getting used to having to ask, and that's still a tough one for me. Getting used to having to ask 20 questions. Getting used to having to ask 20 questions just to get a simple answer. But that's the way it is in some other cultures. I think that's the way it is in the Philippines. I don't remember having that issue when I was in China or in Japan. But look, it's the way it is. Everybody in the Philippines isn't going to change just because that's the way I want things. I'm going to have to adjust how I get down to their style of doing stuff. So it just is what it is. I think the other adjustment, being here, the food is, I'm serious. I'm going to say this. People might disagree, but the food is incredible here. The food, the fact that you get every kind of food is absolutely incredible here. You have to talk about how good the food is, just because you can get a little bit of everything you like. And in the Philippines, you know, I'm not going to rag on the food there, but I'm just going to say there might be the food's not bad. The food's not bad. It depends on who's cooking. And there might be some places still that might have a little more for your palate, we'll just say. To me, another difference is the lifestyle. It's a lot more slow. So if you're still that person who wants to get out at night and you want to get out in the town and go clubbing and all that stuff, you can do that. I personally don't do that. I'm just kind of past that stage. And so I like to stay home. I like to watch movies. I like to play games or do stuff with Ching. I personally prefer the lifestyle in Manila just because I like the outdoor stuff. That's my thing. I like the camping. I like the hiking. I like the biking, the swimming, and, you know, all that fishing, diving. I like all of that stuff. That's kind of my thing. And I got used to that from being in Montana when I went to school. So it was that kind of grew on me, and it stuck with me. So I like that about Manila, that you can do. I'm right smack in the city center, but I can go right outside of the city center 25 minutes and I'm in the mountains. And I really like that, because I like my hike. I like to get away, and that's a big thing in Manila that I really like. On the other hand, here in California, listen to this. Just quiet, right? That's one of the things I do like about California. One of the things, as populated as it is here in California, you have all this space and it's quiet, and you can just sit around, you can relax. It's not all the sounds. Like when you're in Japan and when you're in China and Manila, you're not going to get quiet. There's roosters crowing, there's dogs barking, there's people talking loud, all that stuff. But here, people tell you to shut the hell up, or people ask you nicely to shut the hell up the first time. But here, you get a lot more quiet time. And I do like that a lot about the Bay Area, especially. And even California is one of the most populated states. I think it is the most populated states. But when you go to other states like Washington, Idaho, Montana, you get even more quiet time. I mean, you have states that are super big and where there's literally more deer. There's more cows than there are people in some of these states. So I really like that about some of the places here. And I like that about some of the places here in the States. Obviously, the biggest difference to me is the lifestyle. The cost of living, I mean, I just talked about that, but you can't, you see the YouTubers that make these videos talking about you can live like a king for $1,000 a month. That's bullshit. You can't live in Manila like a king on $1,000 a month, but you can live very comfortably on $1,000 a month. I'm just telling you that because you can, it's the truth. But living like a king, forget all of that. That's nonsense. Miss me with all that. But if you don't have a girlfriend and you're just a single dude living in Manila, you're going to do fine on $1,000 a month easily. Now, when you get a girlfriend on your arm, that's going to be a whole different ball game because obviously they cost money. But out here in California, $6,000 a month, $7,000 a month, you're scraping by. You are scraping by. You'll barely be able to save money. It's just so expensive living here. The rent is $2,500 a month. A car is going to be another $1,000 a month with the car note, the insurance, the maintenance, and all that's the fuel. It's going to be another $1,000 a month. Right there, that's like $3,500 a month. You haven't even paid electricity, internet, or any of that stuff. You haven't even eaten, right? So it's tough to make it on California if you live by yourself. The cost of living is just so much easier in Manila. $1,000 a month easy for everything you need, actually. And if you travel, a lot, it's going to cost you a little bit more than that. But still, the biggest thing is that the cost of living and the lifestyle is just a lot slower. Just a lot slower in Manila. It's a lot more chill. The people are cool. There's a lot more noise, but it's a balance. I guess it's kind of like, what do you like? What do you want? Some people like all the noise and the hubbub. I don't. I want peace. I want quiet. I just want to relax, walk to the park, or my lifestyle is more chill now. But I gotta admit, being back here in California, it feels good again. You look around, the weather's good, blue skies, no pollution here. It feels good. It feels like home. And that's how you should feel when you go home, right? I feel excited to see my people, see my family. That's something I really miss. I just don't miss the prices, the transportation prices, the food prices. I went to the store and bought 7 things. It cost me $65. I bought a chicken, I bought a sandwich, and I forget like 5 other things, and it cost me $65. I was like, I couldn't believe that. It's crazy how much things cost. So all in all, I guess to end this video, I would say I appreciate both cultures for what they bring. This is my country. I love my country. I always have. Hopefully I always represent my country and the people in it to the best of my ability while I'm living abroad. I'm in no hurry to move back, but I definitely miss being here when I'm here. I miss my family. I miss my friends. I appreciate being here in California just as much as I appreciate being in Manila. They both offer something that I enjoy in my lifestyle. So I guess to finish this video off, I would say, just living abroad has changed me a lot. I kind of have more of an international perspective. I don't feel like I need the luxuries. I mean, California or being in the US offers a lot of luxuries that we have, and those are cool. I just don't feel like I need them. You can live in other places and the lifestyle can be so much easier, so much better. And I appreciate all the luxuries that we do have in the States. But as far as I'm concerned, they're not something I have to have, and I'm okay without them. Living in California is really fast paced compared to living in Manila, especially even BGC. BGC is is an upscale part of Manila, but I mean, living in California is fast. I mean, we drive faster, we do everything faster, and I'm not sure that's always good. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think. What's the differences? If you've traveled abroad, you've traveled to Asia, you've traveled to other countries, what's the differences between living in other countries and living here in the US? I mean, there's a lot of differences. We definitely know that. But what are the differences that you notice when you live here in the US? One last thing. 6 months. I haven't wiped my ass in 6 months. 6 months since I wiped my ass. So I had to relearn how to wipe my own ass. And if that ain't funny, I don't know what is. Or in the Philippines, we use a bidet. I use a bidet every day. So, you don't really need to, you take care of it like that. And in Japan, it was the same thing. And in China, I think most of my apartments had a bidet. So you kind of just take care of things. It's a way cleaner way to take care of stuff. But man, I had to relearn some stuff, and I had to learn to wet some tissue just to take care of stuff. But anyway, just the differences between living here and living abroad. What's better, what's worse? I don't know. I guess it depends on who you are, and it depends on what you're doing, how you get down, and how you live your life. I like them both. But I love my country. I love being here in my country. But I am definitely not in a hurry to move back home. And if or when I do move back home, it will not be in California. This place is way too expensive. Once again, thank you guys for joining me for this walk and talk. I really had a great time. It's good to be able to kind of talk through your feelings, coming back home, the nostalgia, the feelings that you get when you see your family, your friends, the neighborhood where you grew up in. Really appreciate this, but it's never the same doing any of this without Cheng, as she is definitely like my right-hand person, and I'm counting down the days where we get to do this again. But it's great to be back with friends and families. But last thing, a lot of you guys are always asking in the comments, hey, Richie Rich, where can I find a quality Filipino like Cheng? Check out the link in the description box below and check the pinned comments, and you'll see the dating site that both Cheng and I recommend for finding quality Filipina. And don't forget, YouTube always says the best way to support our channel and help us grow is to watch another one of our videos right after this one. So please do.
A few moments later.
I did about a quarter of a mile before I realized that my microphone wasn't even on. So we'll just start the video from this point. Here, you get a lot more quiet time, a lot more quiet space or whatever. And I do. Damn, dude. Man, it's windy. And as a reminder, YouTube always says the best way to support our channel and to help us grow is to watch another one of our videos. Don't forget, YouTube always says the best way to support our channel. One more time. And don't forget, YouTube says the best way to... Can I get one more? And don't forget, YouTube always says the best way to support our channel and and after 4 takes, I think I finally got it right. Later, guys. If you like this video, we got a whole bunch of other ones just as good, if not better. So check those out too. I'm Richie Rich for Richie Rich Abroad. Deuces, I'm out.